play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob says Nico gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm Arrow and we are gonna bring you a game from Division B West. Again, it feels like I've been doing a lot of B West these last couple days, between Reborn Knights White and Deviled Keggs. Sounds like our teams are about ready to go as I pick this up absolutely last possible minute. So what do we got tonight? So Reborn Knights White and Deviled Keggs. Let's take a quick peek at the standings here, which will load in just a moment. There we go. So as we can see, we've got, let's see, Reborn Knights White currently at number 6. We've got Deviled Keggs at number 7. Let's go ahead and highlight those for you. So looking to even up our Deviled Keggs, trying to catch up to Reborn Knights White. And Reborn Knights White could get all the way up to 3rd place if they take a domination here tonight. Map bans. We've got Reborn Knights banning out Braxis and Cursed Hollow. And Deviled Keggs gonna go ahead and ban out the Tomb of the Spider Queen and Dragonshire. It should look familiar. Our first map is gonna be on Battlefield of Eternity. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right into that as our draft is ready to go. All right, let's see. Do I have the ticker on this? I don't think I do. I don't. That's okay. So I've had the opportunity to cast just Reborn Knights White. I don't think I've actually cast Deviled Keggs this season. Huzzah! A masked introvert appears. Welcome. Happy to have you all here checking out the stream, getting your jollies at 11 o'clock at night here if you're on the East Coast. And no big surprise, B-Train never gets to play Chen again in his entire life, pretty much. And Chen ban, there we go. Second ban, or the first for Deviled Keggs. By the way, can I just say I really do like the name Deviled Keggs. It flows well. And it goes along the lines of the Chen kind of theme that, you know, B-Train is known for. I do like it. Kael'thas going to be banned out by the Deviled Keggs. They don't want any fire spiciness up in here. Who else do we want to see out of the bans here? Maybe a Sylvanas? Do we see a Sylvanas ban out of one of these two? Alarak. Okay, that's fair. That's another good one with the contender on the other side. So a couple of top heroes being banned out for contender and B-Train there. You know what? This game sound is quiet. Yeah, we can turn it up on the draft. Last ban of the first round for Deviled Keggs is going to be ETC. ETC making his way up in the meta, so not overall a big surprise to see that one either. So all of these heroes, you know, Alarak's been coming pretty well into the meta as well, so really all of these heroes have kind of global potential, even if they are specifically target bans. Our first pick of the game. Is it going to be a race hero? It is going to be the Sylvanas. And now we understand why they didn't ban it out. Makes sense. what else are we gonna see? Oh. Silver Jackal sent me the map bands. Unfortunately for Silver Jackal, I'd already had them from B-Train about 5 seconds after I messaged Division B chat. B-Train was all over it. We're gonna see Ravenex popping off the Johanna and Greymane coming up for Contender. So still some race value out of the Greymane. Also the kind of dive finish. How did we go down in viewers? Guys, we started at 8, now we're at 6. Everybody going to bed or something? Want to see some Blaze? Well, we're going to see some Garrosh first. And Lunara. So getting some of these race heroes, especially kind of the OG race heroes with Lunara and Greymane. Third band, so what do you want to see? Maybe... I don't know, Malfurion has kind of slowed down in the meta, but he works really well with the Garrosh. So it wouldn't surprise me. We also could see an Ana ban. Okay. Leaving because you're here. Well, fair enough, Rek. I'm glad that you're here. Much appreciated. Let's see. I should probably start popping people's names into these things. So let's see. Johanna Greymane. Maybe, I don't know if you go Vala, but I mean, Vala's got really solid race and she does a lot of damage nowadays. But instead, it's going to be the Gul'dan. No Gul'dan coming to play today, which is fine. I don't like Gul'dan. I mean, he's a fine hero. I just don't like him. Which is odd, because you'd think I'd hate Sylvanas more than Gul'dan, because Gul'dan was evil and kind of an annoying pain in the ass. But Sylvanas was just a bitch. Anyways, Anduin coming out, allowing Greymane to be a little bit more aggressive and have the defensive leap of faith. But we also have the offensive leap potential, so there's leaping all over the place here. Greymane leaping in, Sonya leaping in, Anduin leaping out. Could even see a Johanna leaping in with that light bomb potential. Last two picks. Alright, I give up. I mean, okay, I understand. I get it. Okay. Lily slows down the Greymane and Sonya. Okay. I don't hate it. I just never really think of Lily as an option. So I never would have guessed that. But that's okay. Alright, B-Train, what do we see out of our boomer? And it's going to be the Li Ming. So another hero that has pretty good race potential with the right build. Ink Jaina to counter Hefe. Gul'dan killed your king arrow. Yeah, you know what? That is fair, Resaiki. That is absolutely fair. He's a bastard. But he killed one person. He didn't, like, literally destroy a massive tree filled with civilians. Just saying. Alrighty, so game number 1 on Battlefield of Eternity between Reborn Knights White. Why didn't my stuff show up here? There we go. And Deviled Keggs. Let me just make sure everybody's showing up on the right heroes. Looks like they are. Yeah, sure does. Alrighty, if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. Already we see the Portrait Synergy game going over to Deviled Keggs. In fact, they even have 4 out of 5 with the same colored border. Crazy synergy on that one. That's not easy to do when you're not talking about ranks, at least. Ranks are a little bit easier, I think. But let's go ahead and get these teams introduced. On the left, your blue team, we have Reborn Knights White. We've got T-Pole on the Lily, DK Unleashed on Lunara, Silver Jackal on Sylvanas, Alizar on Arthas, and Kooks on Garrosh. Over here for Deviled Keggs running a train around B-Train, it looks like. We have Deviled Keggs. We've got B-Train on Li Ming. Contender going to be Greymane Ravenex on Johanna. Let's see. VZ is going to be playing that Anduin, and Sonya going to be played by Andrew. And at least nobody's dying in the first 20 seconds of this game, although we don't have a Lunara or Arthas first level pick, interestingly enough. Bold strategy coming out. I think overall, talent so far about what you would expect for these. Shadow Dagger quest for Sylvanas is pretty common. The Serpent at level 1 for Lily, giving her that extra Blinding Wind. Again, that actually makes it a little bit easier for her to target her Blinding Winds. So, nothing too exciting. I am a little bit surprised by the Li Ming Power Hungry. Getting the additional damage and mana return from globes. And Kooks coming in here, throwing that minion around, making sure that they're aware that he can do such a thing. Let's check in with our top laners. Alright, that's enough of that. Spray game on point between these two teams. And Garrosh trying to catch the B-Train with that ground breaker, but not quite able to catch up. And even if he could, I don't know that it would have ultimately had any effect. The danger pings coming out, calling that Garrosh is in that bush. And we're going to see them get started on this camp. And with Sylvanas able to shut those down, at least the damage coming out from the camp is minimal. And Lunara making use of that Wisp to just kind of bait them around. And camp secured for Reborn Knights White, as Greymane able to secure up in the top here as well. And we'll see how far they're able to get this, as they do shut down the towers with black arrows, and already half and half on the top and bottom tower. And here comes Greymane back into the game here, into the 4-man, and Sylvanas getting a little bit low, a little bit of damage there, has to back away. But the camp still going strong here. The wall down, bottom tower down, top tower remains, and level 4's up for both teams. And it does look like we've got the Merc Queen for Sylvanas, going to allow her that additional damage onto the Immortal, as well as allowing her to buff the team's camps as they're going in the lane. And right now, Johanna being the single race participant from either team, as now she's heading back. Looks like we've got 3 burning on the Immortal up in the top for Reborn Knights White, 5 here on the bottom. And Garrosh throwing the Johanna, probably maybe the least valuable person to throw over that wall, as just barely it looks like the blue team ahead in the race here, but literally just by a couple hundred, not even a couple hundred, 150. Here we go. Here comes this race. We can see both teams electing to go straight to their Immortal, and Kooks trying to slow this down. Looks like is not quite enough to get them there. We do have the camp in the top lane getting some value here. Both the top and bottom towers at half. Camp in the bottom lane finished off that tower, and also getting the fort to about half. And here comes this Immortal. Sylvanas making her way back down here. I assume that we saw the Nature's Calling. We did, out of Lunara. Is it Orbing? I wasn't even looking. Oh gosh, it is. Well, fair enough. I guess that explains the Power Hungry. And look at the damage onto this Immortal. This Immortal maybe... Yeah, okay. So does barely get the tower, but ultimately, even with the Immortal, Reborn Knights White has managed to overcome the value of that Immortal and get more damage onto the fort in the bot lane than Deviled Keggs was with the Immortal. Level 7's coming up for Reborn Knights White, and now as well for Devil Keggs. And there's Seeker, so I'll admit, I don't know that I've taken this build on Li Ming. I've played Li Ming a lot. In fact, I think she's my #1 played hero, 90 something, but haven't played this kind of build. So Garrosh coming in, gets the throw onto VZ. VZ taking loads of damage from Sylvanas. Is gonna be the first kill of the game. And Garrosh making it away from Greymane. Contender chasing him down, but not quite able to get enough damage down to deal with the increasing armor of Garrosh. So about a half a level lead, a little bit less now for Reborn Knights White. And Arthas up here doing a pretty decent job of stalling out the lane, making sure that he can safely soak it. Big orb onto Jackal there, and the root onto Garrosh, that orb almost bringing him down, is able to walk away. And Johanna not quite able to catch up to the bouncing Dryad. Right? Dryad? I think that's what she is. Nymph? Nah, not a nymph. Pretty sure it's a Dryad. Alright, so here we go. Race is on, and it looks like right now that Devil Keggs has the advantage, as much of the Reborn Knights White crew had to go back and fill themselves up with this advantage, and now they're on the defensive sides. So we'll see. Somebody's got to be aggressive to go in on this. Neither side has pressure in either lane. There are no camps currently on the board, just the one up in top. It looks like Devil Keggs is going to be the ones that come in, get the poke with the Li Ming. Arthas missing that root. Garrosh throwing Johanna away, and does manage to get 2 stacks of his Groundbreaker quest. And Li Ming popping off the orbs, getting big burst damage at long range. And now the Shaman Camp available for both teams ultimately, but it's going to be Devil Keggs coming over here to get it. Arthas coming back up into the top lane, looking to try to soak and get them to level 10 first. But now with the Shaman Camp, he's going to have to deal with that, as Reborn Knights White is pulling back away. We have Sylvanas over here on their Shaman Camp as well, so still a third of a level away from level 10, as the teams are kind of chasing each other here, with Li Ming trying to just get that Seeker value on the Immortal. Does get it down to about a third or so. Both teams have pressure in their respective Shaman lane. And there again, that Seeker proc, I'd love to hear it. It's so satisfying as a Li Ming player to hear that sound. And here comes Devil Keggs trying to get in here before level 10's online. And Reborn Knights does secure that bottom fort, as Contender getting thrown into the back line. And here come the heroics. Arthas very low. We'll see which he looks to go for here. As an Army of the Dead would be very helpful for him right now, but Leaping Strike out of Lunara does secure the kill onto Sonya, but also gets her killed from Li Ming. Alright, so level 10's coming up soon here for Devil Keggs. But right now we've only got the 1 DPS doing damage to the Immortal, as Greymane is going to come down and clear up the camp here. Garrosh protecting the Sylvanas. And now they're just about equal on the Immortals here, so... But that being said, Li Ming coming down is able to get quite a bit of damage onto the Immortal using that Disintegrate. It is going to go down now. Lily and Sylvanas chasing down the Li Ming. And Leap used. Let's go ahead and cover these Immortals, or these Heroics, shall we? We do see Arthas getting thrown in there, the root, but the Leap of Faith keeping Johanna alive there. So we do have the Wailing Arrow, the Leaping Strike, the Jug of 1,000 Cups. I was thinking 1,000 jugs. Makes more sense that way. We've got that Army of the Dead and Warlord's Challenge. And we do see the Falling Sword. No, we don't. That's Leap. Sorry, we see the Leap with Light Bomb. Also have the Disintegrate, which allowed them to pick up that Immortal. Blessed Shield and go for the Throat. Yeah, listen, Wreck. That's what I said first, I think. Sometimes you just gotta make sure that you're right, you know? So Sonya is all by herself in the bottom lane, gonna be able to pick up this camp here. Obviously, with the 5 versus 4 up in the top lane, that means that Reborn Knights is gonna be able to pick up the top siege camp, and they have Merc Queen up in this top camp as well, so they're gonna get a little bit more value out of this camp, although Sonya's gonna have to deal with Arthas here soon, so not gonna be able to get the free fort. But look at how much damage is going in onto Lunara, getting that Seeker value. Blessed Shield going out, the throw onto Ravenex to throw her away, and here come the Jugs, keeping everybody alive. We're Psychic up here with listen, listen, his #1 favorite word that he uses entirely too much. Right? I mean, that's what you said, not me. I don't make these things up. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome, everybody. Nexus Gaming Series. Season 6. Season 7, rather. Week 6. We're watching Reborn Knights White and Deviled Keggs. Number 6 and 7 currently in the standings. Here comes the camp invade with the level 13s. The camp is going to go over to Deviled Keggs. A little bit aggressive there, considering they didn't have the Arthas. But they did have the level 13s, and we do see that the greater spell shield. Light Bomb hits onto 2, Wailing Arrow coming out, Leaping Strike. The big taunt is gonna take Greymane out of this fight right away, and that is a big blow to the Deviled Keggs. Leap of Faith pulling Johanna out of danger there, but still she gets rooted on the way back there. Fantastic play from Reborn Knights White to get the lockdown onto Greymane and keep him from escaping. And Li Ming just throwing out orbs, trying to see if she can make something stick here. As halftime picked up for Reborn Knights White, looking very solid on their way toward perhaps their first Immortal of the game. Greymane is back, the talent advantage still going over to Reborn Knights White though. And Kooks watching as they come in here, unable to quite go, I think, where he maybe wanted to go. But Arthas, right in the thick of things, is able to get these attacks slowed onto Sonya and gets the root onto Greymane. And with really only about 5% health of the Immortal here, they can play this, they can be very patient about coming in on this. Ravenex taking a lot of damage there. Sylvanas could have, yeah, okay. Could have potentially done something like that, but the leap coming out from Sonya right into the back lane. Here's Kooks getting very low. The Immortal does go over, but these Cups just doing work, keeping everybody alive as the kill onto Sonya. Coming out from that leaping strike once again. And it looks like we're going to see a push in the bot lane opposite a full shield Immortal. That Immortal will do certainly enough to kill the fort. And with the Black Arrow Sylvanas, they're going to be able to come down here and at the very least get damage onto this keep. But I imagine they're gonna, yeah, okay, there we go. Deviled Keggs is basically saying, hey, we can't just leave this, we'll leave Greymane up top to deal with that. Trying to defend their keep, and Garrosh throwing Sonya out, trying to keep her away from that backline. Alizar just barely getting missed from Andrew's spear there, but the big root onto 2 is gonna get the kill onto Sonya again. And Blessed Shield going out, trying to secure the kill onto that Arthas. But Lily just putting up the numbers, keeping it going. Let's take a look at those talents here, as 13 did come online for Deviled Keggs here a little bit ago. And that's going to be a keep for Reborn Knights White. And the Immortal did get that top fort. Greymane now finishing the Angel, sending it back from whence it came. And we see level 16 coming online for Reborn Knights White very shortly. They're going to pick up this camp. That'll give them the 16 if they haven't gotten it from Trickle XP by then. And the map is pretty much entirely up to them at this point. Looks like Sylvanas going back, but we do see the rotation up from the rest of the team. And I don't know if they want to fight too hard on this. We'll see. Garrosh getting Johanna on the way there. And just the mere presence of Arthas and not fully knowing where the rest of the team was enough to scare Deviled Keggs away. And that's fair. They're down a talent tier. Arthas was never really in any danger there, so good play on their behalf. And spinning hammers out from Johanna, trying to just zone them out a little bit, see if she can't get some vision. And here comes again that Merc Queen value with the Impalers. And here we go. We got the root onto Garrosh here. And once again, Arthas in the back was after the Greymane, but ultimately getting zoned back to his team. And Sonya looking potentially for a good leap here. There's the light bomb, gonna go out. Does land on Garrosh, but ultimately he has Indomitable up. The big taunt pulls Andrew away from the whirlwind, but it's going to be Johanna that goes down as Leap of Faith was used to keep Sonya alive. And currently the Immortal online, ready to go. It looks like they're going to go ahead and pick up the Shaman Camp, which is going to give them all kinds of time in the world to get damage onto the Immortal. 15 seconds until Johanna is back on the board. Krino, I'm doing great. Sorry I missed you when you replied earlier with the slight lag in the delay. Sometimes it takes a moment for me to look over and catch what's going on. But I agree, Cat Peach, that that jug of 1,000 cups was just absolutely perfect. And here we go. So I expect to see Deviled Keggs coming in on this. They're not quite level 16, but a full shielded Immortal is going to be absolutely brutal for them to deal with. We do see Ironskin going out. The leap into the back line along with Blessed Shield. There's the light bomb. They are going to secure the kill onto Lili. And Leaping Strike getting value here. Poison damage going all over the place. Greymane is able to get away with just a little bit of health here. Only 218 health on that Immortal. And now Catapults on the core is Greymane going back to take care of it. And there's Garrosh coming in to complete the Immortal. Arthas getting very low, as is Lunara. She's going to go down. That's going to give them the resets, which are going to allow them to kill the Arthas and possibly the Garrosh. Not quite. So now it's a 2 versus 3, but a full shield Immortal going into the core, and B-Train doesn't have a whole lot of mana here. Hold up, was that Fireflies? Holy cow. I haven't seen Fireflies since, well, long before you were born. Here we go. Let's see how much value they can get out of this Immortal here. A lot of damage coming out from the Fireflies onto the Immortal, coincidentally here. The taunt going in onto Greymane, slowing him down from the damage on the Immortal. But ultimately, the rest of the team is back up, so this should be able to be a defense as Johanna coming in, slowing him down. Well, maybe. Yeah, there goes the Immortal. So Light Bomb coming out now. Doesn't hit anybody, but Raven X is very low. Silver Jackal's trying to stay on the core. It's very close. Can they finish it? It looks like they can with the Catapults up in the top as well. So game number 1 going to go over to Reborn Knights White. Exactly. Since Nam. Back in the day. So 10 kills to 5. Overall, a low kills game. The hero damage very similar at the top there, but again, we see that it kind of trickles down here. But a lot of value coming out of the Sylvanas Lunara dot combo there into the Anduin. Check out these talents here. Level 16s did come up for both teams there at the end. And let's go ahead and give them their point. They've certainly earned it. All right. So Reborn Knights White picking up the W, game number 1 here out of this best of 3 series. And we'll find out here shortly where Deviled Keggs would like to go, whether they want to do map pick or if they want to do first pick. Let's find out. So com. I love it, Rec. We should do that. That's a thing. All right. So just out of curiosity, how many of you folks are coming to BlizzCon? How many of our fine NGS crew are going to be making the trip out to California? Or obviously, if some of you live in California, I'm gonna be there. Recycic's gonna be there. Butte Holiday's gonna be there. A few other Regen members are gonna be there. Murder from Regen Phoenix will be there. So we're gonna have a few of us hanging out there. Hopefully we'll get to meet up with a bunch of NGS people. Last year, I wasn't really involved as much in NGS. I was just a sub at the time, so I didn't really know anybody out of all the people that went, and I don't know, 30 people that were on the list of people going. So I don't honestly remember most of the people I met. So I hope that we get the opportunity to meet some of you guys. The beach is Thursday, Rec. We're not going to be at the beach all day or all night and then the next day. Certainly for some of that time. So let's see here. So it says B-Train's in a game. So I'm assuming that means that they are in a lobby, but nobody's told me what's going on. Let's check Discord, make sure nobody's DMing me. Nope, no DMs. Something like that. Yeah, that's true. Krino, it's you know what? Listen, I realize that they nerfed HGC into the ground. It's gone, but I expect that BlizzCon will be still a positive, enjoyable experience. It has been in the past, even before HGC existed. It's really, for me, it's far more about the opportunity to meet the people that I play games with, which in this case, of course, would be NGS primarily, as my guild is elected to take a break from this year. Let's see. Map choice looks to be Running with Turtles, and it's going to be Volskaya Foundry. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map list here, just to pop that off. Make sure, you know, that this wasn't one of the bans. Just saying, because that happened earlier today. Alrighty then. Hat on B-Train, that's fair. So they're working out, juggling where this captain hat should be going. So Volskaya Foundry, oh shoot, who was the third band? It was Chen, Alarak. Who was the third band for Reborn Knights, guys? Anybody remember? I feel like it's somebody that I should remember. I don't know. Okay. Well, I can go back and take a look. That's easy enough to do. Let me write down real quick, since I've been too busy talking to you guys, even though you can't talk back to me. I'm gonna write down real quick here the heroes that we had so that I don't forget. Oh, looks like we're getting ready to start the game as well. Which is good, because I'm just about done with my writing here. Hooray. So it wouldn't surprise me to see more of the Johanna and the Anduin here. Even the Sonya, like, any of those could still potentially work here. Gul'dan! Right, thank you. Nailed it. Good job, Krino. Plus 1 point to you. That was BOE and the white. I cast one game for these guys before they became part of Reborn Knights, and I cannot avoid thinking of them as a different team name still. Kael'thas gonna be the first ban. I like it. Kale can get a lot of value here. Although I feel like in theory, I don't know. This is one of those things where it always kind of boggles my mind how much value heroes like Kael'thas and Azmodan get on Volskaya Foundry. Because in theory, you only need one person on the point, right? You don't need 10 people. It seems to end up being 10 people often, but only one person needs to be there. You can still be pretty spread out on these control points. So I feel like Kael'thas gets more value than he should on a map like Volskaya Foundry. Am I alone in this? Like, I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this, because I feel that he's overvalued and gets more value than he should, which is probably why he's overvalued, because people let him. I don't know. I'm probably crazy. You guys probably think I'm nuts on this one. But Lunar gonna be the ban, and you know what? That's fair, because she was absolutely crazy on that map. Did so much work on Battlefield of Eternity. Oh, good point, Recycling. Put Olaf on there and get out of dodge. Alright, and it's going to be Alarak again. So, you know what? I don't expect to see a lot of change from that. Although I will say, in case some of you guys missed it, exactly what I'm talking about, Murder. Now I forgot my point. Oh, I was gonna say, you know, the heroes like Chen. I'm gonna mostly say about Chen. If any of you happened to catch the earlier stream that I did today, and I won't name any team names, but it was a replay cast that I did. For Division B West, and if any of you happen to catch that, you know, the Chen Storm, Earth, and Fire, which is so much value for Chen. If you take a team that can interrupt it, like I don't know, an ETC, his value goes way down because that Chen is looking for that opportunity to, you know, use that stagger and then clear it off, or use the Storm, Earth, and Fire to get, you know, the lockdown and big burst of damage. So, you know, taking an ETC or somebody that can pause that or interrupt it and keep it on a short cooldown, you basically send Chen to the graveyard. All right, so some of these heroes that were banned last game, we saw the Gul'dan ban, we saw the Ana ban, except it was their own team. Now making it through to game number 2 on Volskaya Foundry. Maybe an Imperious could go with the Garrosh pretty well. Could also see a Blaze, as mentioned earlier. That could be a thing. Gonna be a Rain or ban, though. Another one that it's kind of a niche pick, but that comes up is Zul'jin. I don't know if any of these guys play it though, but it does seem to get pretty decent value here. It's really easy to stack off the Protector too. And we're gonna see that Jaina ban. Not a big surprise. Helps to counter the Garrosh, and also just like I said with the Kael'thas earlier, I mean, if there's a bunch of people on the point, then it's pretty easy to get them all in a ring or get them all into a blizzard. Let's see what we get. Maybe we may see an Anduin here with the ETC as well. That could be another side switching, but it's not. It's going to be the Deckard Pain coming out from T-Pole. T-Pole over here saying, you know what? I don't care about standard healing convention. Let's go with the healers that don't get played that often. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Murder, Recyclic, you guys are great. Zensfet, I'm glad to see you out there and popping off that follow. And we do see the Blaze, and it's going to be the Maiev coming along with it. And that is fair. This is a dirty comp. We've got the stuns from Blaze. We've got a Warden's Cage. Cool Dan. Yeah, Cool Dan with the Nano Boost. This is brutal. This could be a very disgusting team to face. And it's going to be Phoenix for DK Unleashed. Interesting setup. Phoenix gets the procs off of Deckard. Lyric has an Entomb, can get decent value with the Phoenix. Oh, do we see Entomb Planet Cracker? We might. We saw it the other day, and it destroyed Stitches like he was a clothy. Well, you see, Rek, you actually set your own Twitch emotes. So there you go. Interestingly enough, yours is the Twitch Prime emote, whereas Murder's is the Twitch Global emote. Know how I know that? Because I just moused over it and that's what it said. But don't forget, some of you guys have these special little arrow emotes. Let me tell you, these pups, I mean, they put in work to look that good for you. All right. Game number 2, Reborn Knights White versus Deviled Keggs. Let's go ahead and introduce our team, shall we? Hopefully they didn't change people on me, because if they did, then the pop-ups are going to be wrong. On the left, we got Reborn Knights White. We got Kooks on ETC, Silver Jackal on Sylvanas again. I wish they would stop moving around. I can't see your names. Alizar and Leoric, T-Pole on Deckard Cain, and DK Unleashed on Phoenix. On the right, for Deviled Keggs, we got B-Train on Gul'dan, VZ on Ana, Ravenex on Garrosh, Contender going to be playing that Maiev, and Blaze going to be picked up by Andrew. All right, here we go. What do we got going on here? So we got the Shadow Dagger. We see advanced, and that's advanced targeting, right? That's what that's called? Yeah. Advanced targeting out of the Phoenix, so getting that extra circle. And the root quest, Scroll of Sealing, I think? Scroll of Identify. Globes for new habits for Blaze, giving him the Unstoppable. Ana going into Grenade. So a lot of quest talents here at level 1 for these teams. And Ravenex coming in, using the Garrosh to disrupt rotations a little bit. And we see right away the quick rotation down onto the fortification camp. And at least not yet for the turtles. Ah, did it again for Reborn Knights. That's the first time I think I actually did call them that, but I've been thinking it all night. So just want you guys to know I remember you. But that's not who we are anymore. Reborn Knights White. I'm gonna remember that. ETC getting knocked up by Garrosh. Let's check in on our solo laners. I didn't give them enough time last game. We're gonna give them a few moments. I'll keep an eye on those health bars up top. But we do see the siege camp, the fortification camp being picked up by Reborn Knights White. Alzar and Andrew. You know what? I like the fact that their names both begin with A. They did a very good job with that. Level 4 is online for both teams. And here we go. Sylvanas using Haunting Wave to try to get away, but the throw followed up by the Umbral Bind is gonna pull her in for the first blood. Going over to Deviled Keggs. Thank you, Murder, for your Twitch Prime sub. Much appreciated. And with the advantage, we've got Deviled Keggs looking at this siege camp. Siege camp. Oh my god! What are these things called? The support camp. And they're going to get that pretty much for free. And the throw onto ETC pulled in by Maiev. But the power slide going to be able to get ETC out of danger. at least for now. And XP, which was a little bit ahead there, is, I think it was at least a little bit ahead for Reborn Knights White. I think, yeah, they got level 4 first. Is now ahead for Deviled Keggs, mostly because of that kill, I think. All right, here we go. And just a 2 versus 4 right now, so Garrosh is going to pull back and pops that Indomitable to make sure that he doesn't get rooted. As with that much DPS nearby, that could have been a kill onto the Garrosh even. Only 6 stacks so far for Sylvanas on her level 1. As well as for Phoenix. Jet Propulsion out for Andrew, keeping him safe. And keep in mind too, Andrew's the one with the healing camp there, so expect to see them coming in here soon. It looks like they were trying to get to 7 before they really got too far onto this, but we do see Blaze is going to pick that up here in just a few moments. And let's take a look at our teams here. We do see the turret being dropped, and it is Merc Queen as well, so keep in mind that those turrets from the turtle, the Reborn Knights White will be more empowered, but the throw onto Sylvanas, securing that kill, 99% over to Reborn Knights White, so they're not in a bad place. I really don't like the idea that they're still fighting this, or that they're even still here. They have plenty of time. Sylvanas can come back onto this fight before this point is secured. And we do see Deviled Keggs coming back, picking up their fortification camp once again. And Phoenix doing the same. 53% on the charge, and Maya's going in a little bit deep just to scout that out. And here we go. This is where the point is all coming together. We do see the turret go down from Deviled Keggs. We have not yet from Reborn Knights, because Sylvanas has it. We do see it go down now. However, the pull and throw going out. We've got the biotic emitter, but it's going to be Alizar getting low and is going to go down first. Raven X is also very low, so could see a death here. But it's going to be Phoenix getting the jet propulsion stun, and that's a 2-for-0 trade. Now Silverjacker possibly going to be number 3. And oh, by the way, top lane already has some pressure up here from the siege camp that was put out earlier. Yes, indeed, Bigsby. You're going to hear me talk about that in about 10 seconds for me. I just want you to know I called it before you did, but yes. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're all friends here. We're all seeing the same things. It doesn't matter who saw it first. I mean, really, I saw it first because I'm 30 seconds ahead of you in time. We'll say we saw it together. How about that? Here we go. Able to get the tower. The second tower is about half health. Level 10's online though, so I was just gonna say I expect this Punisher to, or Protector rather, to turn around soon. So we do see, instead of Warden's Cage, we see Containment Disc. On top of that, we see the Nano Boost, Horrify, Warlord Challenge out of Garrosh, and here comes Maya trying to get the dive in. Not quite able to get there though. And it's gonna be Bunker out of Blaze. Support camp now with this level 10, clearing it up, and now we've got heroics as well for Reborn Knights White, and the good face meld out of ETC. They're able to disengage and power slide away to safety. So taking a look at these heroics now for Reborn Knights White. We've got the Wailing Arrow, the Purification Salvo, not Respect the Elderly, that's level 20. We've got the Stay a While and Listen, doing my own version of Deckard Cain over here as I forget the names of things. Entomb, and of course the Mosh Pit. So it's not gonna be the Laser Entomb Dream, but that's okay. I know, right, Krino? I was so excited for that Bunker setup. Like, all kinds of things. I was thinking Bunker with the Gul'dan dots and the Warden's Cage, like so much value potential out of the dot damage. But they trolled us. But we'll see. If you're Maiev, who's your containment disc target? Who do you want to take out of the fight for a few seconds? Maybe as a mosh counter? Possibly? I don't know. Interestingly enough, so just so you're aware, in case you've never seen this interaction, if you do, what did we do? We had a void prison, I think, on ETC. So if you void prison ETC, then you can walk out of the stun, of course, because the mosh pit is done. However, if you walk back into the stun, you will be stunned. Just letting you know, in case it happened. All right, so Garrosh coming up here is going to be able to potentially catch somebody if they don't make a safe rotation here. Level 13 coming up for Deviled Keggs. They'll be ahead in that, and Reborn Knights at this point looking at their siege camp, ultimately deciding not to take it. Let's check in bot lane here. A little bit of siege damage onto that wall in favor of Reborn Knights. Sylvanas trying to make it away, is gonna get thrown. Doesn't get the jet propulsion, but the sleep is gonna get her down, and there's a turret going over. I don't know if she had Haunting Wave. I'm assuming not, because she didn't use it. But we do see those level 13s here. Let's pop those up for your viewing pleasure. Oh, let's see here. Oh, we're talking about combustion in what is that? Was that a Hero League game or a Storm League game rather, Krino, or is that like a QM game? Just, you know, inquiring minds want to know. All right, staying hydrated late into the evening here. And level 13 is now available. Oh, I want to pop those back up. We got super healing potions out of the Deckard. And the slow from Face Melt here for ETC as well. So, but with everybody elsewhere on the map, they're going to go ahead and get this free fort with the siege camp pressure. We've got Maiev on the point, so why not? They see in the bot lane here, Sylvanas, T-Pole, and Phoenix getting the value here. But now they're going after this keep, getting some keep wall damage. I don't know if this is a worth trade at this point. The minions may be able to take that fort down. I think they probably will, so that'll help them in the long run. But we'll see what happens with this protector with no wall and only the most minor amount of health on this tower. This is an interesting place to be in. Looks very familiar to a circumstance that I saw just last night. Slight differences though. And we'll see if they're able to get... Let's pop this up a little bit here. B-Train getting thrown out. The mosh pit onto Garrosh, just barely missing the Gul'dan there. Entomb coming out. And the Punisher going back into the team here. Biotic Emitter getting used. There comes the Purification Salvo. Probably not going to secure the kill onto Garrosh, although it's going to keep him very low. And B-Train going to pop into that bunker. Is going to get the kill onto Garrosh thanks to that Leoric, and B-Train going down as well. Alizar now chasing after the Protector, trying to finish this off. And I wouldn't... never mind. Okay. Sleep going out. Silver Jackal in danger. Stay a while and listen used just to make sure that Alizar and Silver Jackal can get out safely. So that's a 2-for-0 trade. And ultimately, they only got about 20% of the keep down from that Protector. So big value there. And ultimately, they did get the fort in this bottom lane. So as long as they don't lose a big team fight on their half of the map, they're not in danger of losing. And they do have the bottom fort still full and healthy. Send both DPS. Yeah, please, can you guys go back to base? Please, gotta clear the catapults. Anyways, you had to be there. Inside joke, sorry. And Raven X keeping Garrosh slowed here. Pretty sure he's still got Indomitable, so he's gonna be okay, but a lot of damage coming out. ETC 100% by himself up here versus the Maiev on a Blaze setup. Psychic a while and listen. All right, so level 16's online. Let's take a look at these. And we do see ETC coming in a little bit aggressive here again, you know, kind of by himself, making the assumption that that face melt power slide's going to keep him alive, and it's only going to work for so long. I feel like at some point we're going to see an ETC, you know, being a little cheeky, and suddenly he's not going to be on the board no more. But we'll see. So we do have, yeah, so Stroke, that's exactly where I was going with that, is that they set themselves up with, for the third protector. So if Reborn Knights can pick up the third protector, then they've got a path right into a keep and potentially into core if they get any kills with that. So playing a little bit more for the long game, they were able to secure the keep, so they didn't lose it. They only lost a little bit of damage on it, and really most of that damage was done before they'd even gotten there. And once again, here you go. This is exactly what I was just talking about. I feel like if their team was just a little bit more mindful there, that would have been potentially a dead ETC and a lost biotic emitter, but ETC did manage to get out. Contender going in deep there on Maev, gets knocked back, power slide, Stay a While's coming out, didn't get off though because of the Horrify, also interrupting the Purification Salvo. It was a well-timed Horrify to keep probably multiple members of his team alive, and Leoric able to use the Wraithwalk to get out, but it's gonna be Phoenix getting obliterated there. Kooks walking away here. Alizar trying to get away but gets thrown back in. I expect to see a Wraithwalk out here in the near future trying to get away. Lots of dot damage though, thanks to that Gul'dan, and here comes that third control point that we were just talking about a few moments ago. But with this chase, ultimately, that's giving them time to get Phoenix back on the board. But here's a nice, easy camp invade onto the fortification camp. And fantastic awareness of the Leoric coming from behind. Wraithwalk going to be able to get him out, but look at his health. Already about 40%. Sylvanas is going to head up here and start working on this biotic emitter. There's a siege camp in the top lane they have to deal with. They want to get as much value as they can since the timer is just now starting. They've got about 90 seconds from start to finish to be able to get down there. So they're going to try to clean up the top lane, the catapults, the siege. And so they've got they've got 2 turrets. They've got a biotic emitter, 2 biotic emitters. Oh man, this is looking really good for Reborn Knights. But we've got 3 turrets on the side of Deviled Keggs. But keep in mind, Sylvanas has Merc Queen, so that's basically the equivalent of having 3 turrets. It's actually slightly better because it's 60% bonus. So here we go. 82%. And Blaze comes off of the point, now going back on, making sure that they can keep the channel going. So let's zoom out a little bit here because it's about to go down. We do see Unstoppable popped. There goes Leoric and Tomb into the bunker. Big taunt though. Purification Salvo coming out. Vault of the Warden's used. Blaze stuns the ETC. There's one biotic emitter, but it's going to be Sylvanas going down to the Gul'dan. It looks like Blaze may go down though. However, it's not in fact going to be the Blaze. It's going to be Deckard instead. The throw onto VZ, keeping VZ safe here. Ultimately, Maev does go down, so it's still a 2-for-1 trade, and now ultimately Devil Keg says, you know what, that's fine. You know, we can be a little bit defensive. We got level 20 coming up. Our turret's still here. Oh, and here we come. Quick reset, the knockback going out, the charge stun in, does get DK unleashed, but ultimately is going to be able to warp away. Alizar, probably not so much. And now that's going to be Protector going over to Deviled Keggs with their level 20s coming up. So we're going to see Haunt out of the Gul'dan, given that extra duration and armor reduction. We've got the nano boost for the healing, whatever, I never know what these are. The Shadow Orb of Vengeance, recharging the Spirit of Vengeance for Maev. Let's see, what is this? Burn Notice, slows, and additional damage. Dot damage, all kinds of dots. Garrosh hasn't selected his yet. could go Warlord's Challenge, which reduces the cooldown of the taunt. Could go for the extra person being thrown. So we'll see. But on the other side here, we've got the Bolt of the Storm for both Sylvanas and ETC. Eternal Flask or Bottomless Flask for Deckard. We're going to see the Purification Missiles for Phoenix and the Buried Alive for Leoric. All right, here we go. Protector's still up. It's got about 30 seconds left. Leoric taking a lot of damage there. And the flank in from ETC, I'm not entirely sure what we're expecting out of this. Was very far back away from the team. The jet propulsion going out does miss the Phoenix as he does get a warp away. ETC in the Entomb silencing the Gul'dan though. And now jet propulsion, I think, got interrupted maybe? But the glove from the Protector manages to knock ETC back, so they do get the kill onto the Blaze though. No Entomb available, so they cannot stop this, but VZ taking tons of damage from that Sylvanas, and she's going in for the kill, but not going to be quite able to make it. Whatever, words are hard. And now with the Sylvanas push, once again, that Protector got almost no damage onto the keep wall, and it's going to be the Sylvanas value here that's going to get the keep for Reborn Knights White. And there's still 20 seconds before Gul'dan is up. I don't know if they can go core, though. They do have Mosh, they do have Buried Alive, and they do have Purification Salvo. I think they're probably making the smarter play here. Yeah, you know what? That's entirely possible, Recycling. Yeah. Just good timing on the route. So we do see in the top lane, that catapult finally finishes the job in the top lane. So both teams now have a path to victory. And there's the isolation then onto Garrosh as ETC did knock back the entirety of the team, but it's going to be all for naught as ETC is going to go down. There's the jet propulsion in, gets the stun. T-Pole trying to get value out of these canteens, the potions here. So still the potential for tons of healing as these potions respawn so quickly, and they do get the kill onto the Maiev with that. So 1-for-1 trade, ultimately. The tank for one of the primary DPS. So they don't lose the game with that, but we are going to see the full rotation. They know Leoric's in the top lane. Everybody from Deviled Keggs coming down here to make this camp invade happen. Indomitable use, so that'll be a good 40 seconds or so before that's available for Garrosh, but that's going to be safe because they're disengaging anyway. Because they know that top lane has to be addressed just as much as their bottom lane has to be addressed. Well, we're at 21 and a half minutes, Rec. It could be a 30-minute game, but I think that either way, the next Protector likely wins this game. So I thought they were coming up here maybe to push this fort and equalize at least a little bit of the catapult pressure. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Deviled Keggs is on the way up, though. And here comes ETC. So Blaze is a little bit far behind. And Garrosh going in by himself gets silenced by the Entomb, and that's a big kill. ETC power sliding in. Did not mosh there. I think that could have been a game-ending mosh, although Maiev potentially could have gotten the containment disc out there. Which I don't know. Have we seen a containment disc? Has anybody seen a containment disc? It's not something that's easily noticeable, so I might have missed it at some point, but that being said, they're very likely keeping it specifically for that purpose, for the mosh. Clear up in the top lane, keeping their fort safe, their keep safe. And that gives Reborn Knights the possibility of picking up this fortification camp. Deckard Cain setting up some potions. Again, these are eternal. So he can just drop them wherever he feels like. Saw one last fight. Okay, cool. So it's happening. I'm just missing it. That's fair. The danger route. He did, absolutely. You know, you got to be careful about that. Even if you're the tank, if you're an ETC or a garage, we've certainly seen that you can be blown up. Now look at this point. I want to call this out. Look at how spread out the team was until I started to say that, and now look at how clumped together they are. You know, that's exactly what I was talking about with the Kale Thaws. But here's the Punisher. I'm sorry, the Protector available. The Entomb goes out, misses everything. Here comes the Mosh, and there's the Horrify. So gets the disengage, not able to secure any kills out of it. And Mosh is a much longer cooldown than that Horrify, but ultimately that Horrify allowing the Deviled Keggs to back away and get reset. So Jet Propulsion in on 3. It looks like that was the containment disc right there. And now it's used on Leoric. Garrosh going to be the first kill though. Bunker used to keep Maev safe. Does get the tether onto 3. Alizar in the back though, getting just melted. And but so is Contender. Contender, however, gonna get the kill, and the Fan of Knife resets. Manages to get Leoric as well, and this keep going down thanks to the damage from this Protector. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be game number 2, going over to Reborn Knights White. And there you have it. 2-0 victory for Reborn Knights. Now take a look at these stats and these kills. This is just one of those examples that, you know, kills don't necessarily lead you to the victory, right? And, you know, when you're playing your Storm League games and what have you, they're oh, I got 47 kills, I'm the best. Yeah, but you lost the game on Blackheart's Bay, you know? Like, come on, dude. So good on Reborn Knights to stay in the game. Now I need to reach out. I think it's Silver Jackal. Let's see. Reach out, see if we can snag one of these fine individuals to come join us for a quick chat. All right, so just we'll give a quick highlight to these stats here. Nice, easy click for top to bottom. Gotta love it. Then we'll flip back over, take a look at the talents. I haven't gotten a response yet from Silver Jackal. We'll have to see if somebody wants to stop by. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Krino. Appreciate you stopping by here.
What's going on, Arrow?
Welcome, Silver Jackal. I'm glad that you could join me. I didn't get a message back, so I wasn't sure if you were going to make it, but I'm glad that you did. Congratulations on your 2-0 victory.
Thank you very much.
So, you guys clearly did some homework on the Deviled Keggs.
Oh yeah, I do a lot of scouting.
Mm-hmm. What, ultimately coming into this, what were your expectations? I mean, obviously the Chen and Alarak are staple bands against B-Train and Contender, but, you know, what were your expectations coming into this as far as like maps and things like that you expected to be able to play on and that you expected out of them, and what did you do to make sure that you countered that?
So we did expect a BOE from them. They play that map a lot, and expected if we did beat them on that map, we would go to one of the maps we chose, because they always like to get first pick. So
sure.
Just all the research I did, you know, pointing to that and happened exactly like I thought.
And that, of course, is a nice feeling when you put all that work in and things go according to plan, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Feels great, yeah. So I was a little bit surprised by some of the talents that we saw in the second game there, just in general across the board, mostly on their side. I was surprised to see the bunker and the containment disc. But I was also a little bit surprised with the Leoric and Phoenix that we didn't get to see the meme beam combo. Like, was that ever an idea in your guys' mind? It was
an option. But we had just so many slows and everything, if you figured we get more value off of I always forget the talent's name. salvo, something like
Yeah,
that.
purification salvo. Yep. So you decided to play the legit game instead of pandering to Twitch chat for what we all know and love. Got it. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we understood our place in the ranks here. So looking back at BOE, you guys picked up Lily, which was a surprise to me, not because I thought it was a bad pick, but just because I never think of Lily, in that role. But yeah, I got to call out T-Pole had an absolutely monster jug of 1,000 cups near the end of that game, where 3 or 4 of you guys were plus or minus 100 health around that bottom immortal. So I really wanted to highlight that play because you don't get to hear a lot about the healers and the tanks in many cases. You get to see the plays out of the Sylvanas plays and the Lunara plays who are just melting people, but without that jugs coming out at the right time, you guys are dead, and that game goes a completely different direction, right? So I wanted to highlight T-Pole for that. But you guys played an amazing game with that. Like, Lunar was jumping people all over the place, getting the kills, and, the race value seemed to be pretty equal. What when you guys were doing the scouting for BOE, like, what did you expect out of them, and what did you, in that case, like, specifically for BOE, how did you make sure that you guys won that game?
I expected that they would probably go ETC Vala like they've done in the past, or JoJo like they did. I did expect the Greymane as well. I expected Breaching on that, to be honest, not Contender. I have seen them play Alarak a lot whenever they get it, and Shen, so I figured those 2 comfort bands would be good just to get rid of, and Gul'dan as well. So just a lot of research on them. I knew pretty much what they wanted to do, and I figured just take them off their comforts and make them do something new.
Sure. And you guys had some really good rotations, great camp timings. And, I mentioned in Volskaya Foundry, you guys did something similar in Game 1. You always, although I don't think I said it this way, you guys always had the opportunity to go to a camp, or not a camp, but a lane, and push down a fort or get damage onto the fort so that you could set it up for later. And you guys did that amazingly well. And I have to imagine that was, coming out of your communications, right? I mean, that's part of your shot calling shtick. It wasn't an accident. Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't an accident.
You call it a cheese, but I mean, it's the value of Sylvanas, right? That's why you pick the Sylvanas hero, because she does a fair amount of damage, but also because she allows you to get value as opposed to just show up. And that was the direct opposite for what Deviled Keggs had, because they had two protectors in that last game that got basically no value, and then you guys get one protector and you go win the game, right?
We just noticed that they had their squishies out of it and their tanks inside, so we figured just run past it since it doesn't do very much damage to heroes anymore. And if we keep aggressive on them, they can't be aggressive on our structures.
Sure. So what was your favorite moment of this match?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm just kidding. No, I'll have to watch it because I usually just focusing on timings and everything. So.
Sure. No worries. So we're approaching the end of the season. So with your guys' 3 points there, let's take a look at that standings here real quick again. So that's going to launch you guys up pretty far there, up over Logical Decision, put you into 3rd place currently. Now, I don't know how many games everybody has played, so of course, that could have an effect. But you guys are in a pretty strong place. How are you feeling about the division as a whole?
That's gone pretty well. I mean, there's a lot of back and forth in division. I think I did pretty well on setting it up.
For sure. And I do want to say, I can't remember. I think I've done 2 other casts for you guys. I definitely did your first cast with Regen Blue and you guys. And let me just say, night and day between your first game and this game.
Oh, yeah. That first game, we still feel like it's a fluke. We're just way out of it.
Well, you guys have definitely picked it up. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and give you the opportunity for any shout-outs that you'd like to make to your friends, family, team, whoever.
Yeah, go ahead and shout out you thank you for picking this up last second. I honestly was about to hit the start button when you messaged us.
Nice.
Shout out to my team. Shout out to Devil Keggs. It was some good matches, especially that last one. There's a few moments where we're struggling for sure. Shout out to NGS for setting up this whole league, and I guess shout out to our manager Cat Peach. I can't forget that again.
If you didn't, I was going to, because she's been relatively active in chat, so got to make sure that we call attention to the people that keep our schedules and everything tight.
Mm-hmm.
So good deal. Well, hey, thanks again for joining me after this game. I appreciate you staying a few extra minutes. Great job on your win tonight. Tell your team that I said they did a good job for whatever that's worth, and good luck on the rest of your season.
All right, thank you very much. You have a good one.
Thanks. Alrighty, everybody. That is going to be the end of our game between Reborn Knights White and Deviled Keggs. A 2-0 victory for Reborn Knights, putting them up now into, at least currently, third place in Division B West. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Much appreciated for the subscription from Murder and all of the follows from you fine individuals out there in Twitch land. Again, so my cast tomorrow, which was going to be picked up at 9 o'clock, actually got canceled, and in place is my own game. So if anybody wants to pick up the Regen Phoenix versus the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit, make sure you check that out. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. But immediately following that, I'll be casting a Division D game, so you can come right back here at 10:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. And don't forget about the Sunday Rewind, the NGS Rewind, at twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series, where we cover some of the maps or matches that didn't get cast throughout the week. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.